Hi everyone, Professor Cadney's here. Welcome to week 7. In just 1 week, you are going to be halfway through with the semester. So congratulations on getting this far. I wanted to also say that you guys have spring break next week, so there will be no content posted for spring break. Also notice that the work for this week is due on Thursday, just because of when the break falls. So work is due a little bit earlier this week. Don't panic if you feel like you can't get it done by this Thursday. Actually, I put Friday, so you have until Friday to get the work done for this week for both 98 and 99. If for any reason you would like an extension until Sunday, like usually you have until Sunday to get your assignments in, that's totally fine. You don't have to ask me for it first. You can just submit your work by Sunday at 11:59. But just in terms of what I need to do for the college, I, I need to have your work be due, not during the break. And for your own sake, you might want to get it done early so that you can have an actual real break during the break. Okay, so again, if you need until Sunday, fine. Just the Canvas is going to mark it late and potentially as a 0 until I can grade it. If you do choose to submit it late on Sunday, please just tolerate that and know that it's perfectly acceptable to submit it then. But if you're able to, please get your work in by Friday. So I hope that you guys have a really good break, a well-earned break. I also wanted to say that this week you have your midterms, which are really just multiple choice tests to see how you're doing with the content so far. So make sure that you do take those tests seriously. They're untimed. You can use all your resources, obviously, and they're multiple choice, but they just have a little bit more point value weight. So, make sure that nothing goes wrong with it, that you do take it seriously, take your time with it, look back at your notes, things like that. Rewatch some videos if you want to. I wanted to also say that you guys have your place of great importance final drafts due at the end of this week, so you can look at my feedback and then turn in those drafts. And finally, some people are still having trouble focusing on subject-verb agreement and run-ons and fragments and really getting that correct. So I will just, for like 2 minutes, do a review of that again. I know that some of you are not watching the videos. There's no judgment about that. But if you do watch the videos instead of just going to the worksheets, you're going to have a much, much easier time understanding the reason behind the grammar. Sometimes you can guess and get it right, but that doesn't really help you to learn anything. You really have to know why and how it works in order to be able to always get it right, especially when you're doing your essays. And these are like some of the grammar points that are really essential for you moving to the next level. So do pay attention now. Go back and watch any videos that you need. Some of you have emailed me, and I've sort of done some troubleshooting with you by email, some people by phone. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need me in any way. So a subject and a verb are grammatical constructs. A subject is not the topic of a sentence. A subject is who or what is doing the verb, doing the action, or experiencing the state of being. So when you have a subject-verb agreement error, it means that the subject is not agreeing in number with the verb. So you might have a plural subject like they, but a singular verb. So if you said something like they walks to the store, that walks is actually a singular verb. Sometimes that's confusing for people because it has an S at the end, but it's a singular verb. And so you want to make sure that you have subject-verb agreement correct. And the final thing is with run-ons and fragments. A run-on is when you have two complete thought, verb, and subject smushed together without the appropriate punctuation. And a fragment is when you're missing a complete thought, a verb, and a subject, or a kind of hybrid of multiple of these. So the other thing that I'm seeing a lot of is if you're using a semicolon, there's 3 ways to fix a run-on. One is a comma and a conjunction like and, one is a period and a capital, and then the other is a semicolon. And a lot of people are using semicolons, but you have to have a complete sentence on both sides of the semicolon. So you can't do like semicolon, which is good, right? The semicolon and then which is good, because that's not a complete thought on the other side. So on either side of the semicolon, you need to have standalone sentences. But when you have a semicolon, you're not going to capitalize a letter in front of the semicolon. You have a semicolon and then a lowercase letter. So that's just some review stuff. Again, if you want the slower version, please look at the actual videos. They're in the modules, but you can also just Google Professor Cadnice on YouTube and then type in whatever you're looking for, like avoiding run-ons and fragments is one of them, or subject-verb agreement, or whatever the case may be. You can go onto YouTube and get information about that. Okay. I wanted to do some shout outs. You guys are doing an amazing job with your essays so far. So I have 3 shout outs for today. Let me just minimize that. Okay. I have 3 shout outs for today for the place of importance that are illustrating 3 really good points. Okay. I just want to move my screen. So I'm going to be shouting out Udali, Cassie, and then also Zamora, because they're doing things that I think could be helpful and inspirational for your essays, and you will have an opportunity to discuss your essay process this week. So please ask any questions of me or of each other during this process. So Udali had a really amazing sensory descriptions in her essay. So here's a paragraph that I want to share and shout out. Whether I was upstairs or outside, I could smell the food from far. My favorite was breakfast food. The aroma of bacon and sizzling onions for home fries, the pepper as they sprinkled it on the uncooked scrambled eggs. I could smell that all day. I enjoyed it while it lasted. In the store, there were unpleasant smells, too. When customers walked in, I could tell who smoked by their strong scent of cigarettes. It's almost like the smell followed them around. A pot of fresh coffee could help the unwanted smell. Who doesn't love coffee? So this is a really beautiful paragraph about the sense of smell. And it's nostalgic, too, because of that sentence. I enjoyed it while it lasted. And then from there, you see that even an unpleasant smell has a kind of nostalgia to it. And then also that sort of playful question at the end ties the paragraph nicely together. Who doesn't love coffee? The paragraph concludes. So wonderful job there. Cassie had a really excellent chronological organization. So she was able to talk about each of the senses within her paragraphs, but then moved chronologically through the experience of her birth story. So she writes, my place of importance is Albert Einstein Hospital maternity ward. On the morning of February 28th, 2009, I woke up to a chilly day. I had my 36-week appointment at 10:30 that morning. I was in my room getting my clothes together so that I could shower. I went to the bathroom, started to shower, and got in. This was the warmest and most relaxing shower I've ever taken. The heat of the water opened up my sinuses so much that it caused a nosebleed. I finished showering and was dreading opening the curtain because of the cold air that hits you upon opening. I walked down the hall to my room and quietly opened the door. Gabriel was still sleeping. Such a good child. So you can see all the sensory details that are unfolding, but it's happening in time order, which is a really, really interesting strategy. So paragraph about, the before the hospital, and then at the hospital, and then at the birth, and things like that. Okay, and then Zamora did an amazing job of really portraying the sense of hearing. And what I really liked about it was that it wasn't just the sense of hearing, but it was also mixed with the memory of a person. So that's another strategy that you guys can reach out that you guys can try to do when you're writing your essays. So here's this shout out. When I hear the sound of music on max volume coming from the kitchen, I know my mom is about to put her heart into her food. The sound of old classics like Rick James, SWV, Salt and Peppa play through the speaker. We sway from side to side and connect hands to do a dance called the bop. My mom taught me how to feel the rhythm of the music. We listen to music and dance. The kitchen floor becomes our stage. The sound of my kids trying to sing the lyrics makes me laugh. I can't think of any wave of vibration going through my ears. So again, that's like a really unique way of blending the senses with a person. Some of you, wrote a paragraph about a person, but the way that these two come together to paint a picture of what can be heard and a scene is really wonderful. So keep going with these. I can't wait to read more of them. A bunch of you have already submitted, and I'm, after this video is recorded, I'm sure that I will read others of your essays as well. Good luck with everything. Stay strong. This is remember the last week before you have a full week break, which I hope can have some relaxing elements to it. I hope it's not just all work, going to work, but whatever it is, hang in there and know that I believe in you and that I'm proud of you and that I'm here for you. Okay, have a great week, everyone.